What crazy story inspired artist Ben Folds to write a song about an astronaut? What transforms an American hero into a national punchline? How does a mind trained to navigate the infinite void get lost on a 950-mile drive down I-95? This is not just a story of jealousy. It's a collision between a meticulously crafted life and a catastrophic obsession set against the buckling pressure of NASA's most perilous era. Lisa Marie Nowak was the blueprint of human achievement. Born in Washington but growing up in Maryland, where she watched the Apollo 11 moon mission that piqued her interest in the space program. Graduating high school as a co-valedictorian in her class, excelling in both sports and academics. After high school, she ventured where few women did at the time in 1981, making her part of the 6% of students that were women in the United States Naval Academy. Graduating in 1985 and continuing big achievements by becoming a naval flight officer in 1987, during a time where half of Navy jobs were not open to women. Marrying a classmate from Annapolis in 1988, she continued her studies and achievements. She was a graduate of Naval Postgraduate School and the Naval Test Pilot School, an aerospace engineer, specialist in electronic warfare, and then being selected by NASA in 1996 and qualified as a robotic specialist who operated a billion-dollar robotic arm in the stars during the cruise spacewalks. A mother of three, to the world she was cheerful, diligent, brave, a flawless member of what one writer called that cold-blooded, nerveless band of overachievers we see as human perfection. But in early 2007, her perfect life turned upside down. Her marriage was ending, and she was clinging to an intense and highly secretive 3-year affair with fellow astronaut Bill Oefling, an intense and sexual love affair. In a hopeful letter to Bill's mother, Lisa wrote of a new life together, saying Bill was the best person she'd ever known. But as she was writing that letter, Bill was already planning a life with someone else. Bill ended his relationship with Lisa as his romance with Colleen Shipman took off. Bill told the Orlando police that Lisa seemed a little disappointed but accepting of the breakup. Colleen, a vibrant 30-year-old Air Force captain and engineer, had a conversation with Bill about his breakup with Lisa, asking if she was okay with the breakup and asking if a crazy lady would show up at her door trying to kill her. Bill comforted her and told her that Lisa wasn't like that and that she was happy for him. Colleen had no idea of what Lisa was planning for her. In Lisa's mind, her future was Bill, and now a rival threatened that future. So, the astronaut who planned for every contingency in space began planning for one on Earth. To maximize efficiency and minimize stops, Lisa chose specific travel wear, NASA-issued maximum absorption garments, astronaut diapers. But the diapers were just the weird part. The packing list was the terrifying part. A steel mallet, a hunting knife, 6 feet of rubber tubing, duct tape, a can of pepper spray, a BB gun with ammo, latex gloves, garbage bags, a floppy disk with female nudes and bondage instructions, and a map of Colleen's neighborhood. She told police she just wanted to talk, but her equipment suggested an interrogation of a much darker kind. To understand the pressure Lisa was in around the time of the attack, you have to look up. Her one spaceflight, STS-121, was a return-to-flight mission after the 2003 Columbia disaster, a tragedy that killed 3 of her classmates and her close friend, Laura Clark.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter Jennings at ABC News headquarters. In the words of a flight director at NASA, it has been a bad day. 7 astronauts have died, their families shattered. The space program has been dealt a terrible blow. The larger family of men and women in space exploration devastated. And the country has been reminded how dangerous it is, and that for all of America's technological genius, it doesn't always work. This morning, just before 8 o'clock Texas time, the Space Shuttle Columbia was just about to finish a picture-perfect 16-day scientific mission. The astronauts' families were by the runway in Florida, poised for a great reunion. Instead, this was the picture that we all saw. Columbia was at 200,000 feet, going 12,500 miles an hour when it suddenly broke up under stress that we still do not understand. 16 minutes from home. We begin our field reporting with ABC's Ned Potter.
She was assigned to the Clark family as a casualty assistance officer, taking care of Laurel's son, Navy paperwork, including finances, bills, bank accounts, and spending 12 to 14 hours a day while having an adolescent son and 2 very young children herself. A scathing report blamed NASA of a piece of foam to be the culprit of a catastrophe that fatally damaged the craft's heat shield. The shuttle was called a perilous and costly experiment. Still, they had to fly again, perfectly, to finish the $100 billion International Space Station. The agency was in a crisis. Lisa wasn't just an astronaut. She was a critical component in a machine straining not to explode. She was one of 14 people in her field at the time that balanced a career as an astronaut and motherhood. She was essential in NASA's redeeming mission. Lisa used a key in her possession from the 3-year romance she had with Bill and used it to break into his Houston apartment to find information about her former lover's new girlfriend. There, she found steamy emails shared between Bill and Colleen's travel itinerary. It was then that she concocted a plan to confront her, printed out maps for a driving routine in the Orlando airport, and handwriting essentials for her trip. On February 3, 2007, she began her trip wearing a special space diaper known as a maximum absorption garment, used by astronauts when they have to be in spacesuits for a long period of time. She had used 2 of them by the time she reached an Orlando hotel. Only a few days after the 4th anniversary of the Columbia tragedy, and in possession of Colleen's travel plans, on February 5th, 2007, at 3:50 a.m., Colleen's shipment landed from Houston to the Orlando International Airport. Lisa followed her into a bus and then to her car. Colleen noticed a woman dressed with a trench coat was following her. She got into her car and quickly locked the doors, just in time as Lisa tried to open her car door as soon as she reached her. Colleen had no clue who Lisa was and assumed she was just a criminal. She noticed that Lisa never dropped a duffel bag she was carrying the whole time. Lisa banged on her car window, and as Colleen fumbled to her keys, Lisa tried a different tactic and asked Colleen for help, pretending to be stranded and afraid to be alone in a dark parking lot by herself, convincing Colleen that her intentions were innocent. Colleen cracked her window 2 inches, and Lisa Nowak then made her move. Lisa reached over and pepper sprayed Colleen. As soon as Colleen felt the burning in her eyes, nose, and throat, she sped out of there, grasping for air, believing she had just evaded a car robbery, but afraid she was breathing in poison because of the pain that pepper spray had caused. Minutes later, Lisa was arrested by police trying to throw away a bag containing a BB gun that looked like a 9mm semi-automatic and a wig, and a second bag containing the steel mallet and a 4-inch buck knife. She told police she only wanted to talk and didn't intend to hurt Colleen, but brought the BB gun to scare Colleen into talking had she refused. She offered no explanation for the other items like the knife, hammer, rubber tubing, or plastic bags, or the bondage images of the nude woman in the computer disk in her car. The media firestorm was instant and merciless. NASA tried but lost all control of the narrative. The story wasn't about a mental health crisis, it was about the astronaut who wore diapers. Headlines screamed, "Dark side of the loon." Jay Leno joked she was released on her own incontinence. For NASA, still raw from Colombia, this was a surreal nightmare. TV crews and satellite trucks filled the street where Lisa lived with her family. FedEx deliveries from Dr. Phil arrived at her house, and an autographed photo of Lisa hit $10,000 on eBay just a few days after her arrest. The fallout was total. NASA fired her, the Navy would soon force her out, and, of course, her marriage was over. Through the chaos, Colleen did her best to overcome the horrendous event she survived, but not without lasting psychological impact, ongoing anxiety, and the need to constantly look over her shoulder, and a shattered sense of safety.
If somebody were to sneak up on me, I jump out of my skin, and I can't help it.
Also losing her Air Force job due to the health problems that stemmed from the attack. Pushing through the trauma, Colleen discovered that writing helped her process and heal from the terrible experience. She wrote a memoir and, under the pen name C.M. McCoy, published a paranormal romance novel, Eerie. Bill Ofaline married Colleen Shipman. They have a son together and moved to Alaska. Lisa Nowak pled guilty to reduced charges of burglary and misdemeanor battery and was sentenced to 2 days in jail and a year's probation.
I'm glad to have the opportunity to apologize to you, Ms. Shipman, in person. I am sincerely sorry for causing fear and misunderstanding and all of the intense public exposure that you have suffered. I hope very much that we can all move forward from this with privacy and peace.
She is out of the spotlight now and lives a quiet life in Texas. We may never know what fractured in Lisa Nowak's mind. The perfect pressure of NASA, the grief of Colombia, and the collapse of her family. The desperation of a lost love and a brutal heartbreak, all swirling in someone trained to never show cracks, always striving for perfection that is required for such a demanding career. Her story is a stark reminder. The people we put on pedestals, whom we see as embodiments of perfection, are navigating their own fragile orbits, and sometimes the most dangerous frontier is in space. It's the human heart.